This is Simar Gil McCullough, and today we are going to talk about myth number 3. So the last 2 days we've been covering different myths about weight loss, and today is myth number 3. If you haven't seen the previous 2 myths, you can actually go to our Instagram account and check them out. Just see, we covered 2 myths already, and then today's myth is going to be about crash diets. So there's this myth that crash diets can help you lose weight fast. So we're going to uncover that. Okay. So, when we're looking at crash diets, when you're looking at crash diets, you want to ask yourself a few questions, and there are some considerations that you really need to take into account. Because if you don't know about these things and you're doing some diet just to lose weight really fast because somebody on social media said that, oh my God, this thing made me lose 5 kgs or 3 kgs in 3 days or something weird like that, you really need to know what is going on. I mean, it's your body and you don't want to take chances with that, right? So number 1, you want to actually check that, does this diet lead to weight loss or does it lead to fat loss? 2 things are very different. And then of course there's the fact that, is it going to make me lose muscle mass or is it going to help me gain muscle mass, right? Now, why is this important? What's the difference? Weight loss, when it's just weight loss, it could mean that you just basically lost a whole lot of fluids from your body because you're not like that. Usually if you get really fast results in like 2-3 days, it's because of the water loss from your body, right? So also, if you're doing a diet and it's just weight loss and you're not sure whether you're losing fat or you're then it could also mean that you could be losing muscle mass too. Now, muscle mass is so important to take into consideration, because if you are doing a diet and you lost a whole lot of muscle mass during this diet, then after the diet, when you go back to your normal routine, then what's going to happen is that because your muscle mass is less, now when you're eating the same amount of food that you were eating before, you are going to end up putting on more weight than you had before. So instead of, it might give you like a short-term results, but you will actually go back to putting on a lot more weight, more than before. Okay, so very important. Why? Because the muscles in our body, the muscle cells, eat 8 times more calories than fat cells. So they are really good for metabolism. And that's why if you end up losing a whole lot of muscle with some diet, then it brings down your metabolism, which means now your body is taking even less energy. Like it's creating energy out of food even less than it was before, and it's all turning it into fat. Bad idea. So very important. If you're doing fat loss, you want to know, like, how is this happening? Actually do some research. You don't want to try some like banana and milk diet or some random thing on the market that people are like all rage about, because people can rage about a lot of different things. And this is why, I mean, we even run the Body Love program that we have, because we're so passionate about teaching people a healthy lifestyle. You don't want to live your life diet to diet to diet. It's like, doesn't work. Having sustainable lifestyle, having sustainable habits is what really creates lifelong results, right? So very important. Take that into consideration. Is it going to make you lose muscle? Because if it is, not worth it. You're going to put on more weight than before, and it's not going to feel good. Okay. Another thing, that you want to take into consideration is mineral deficiencies. So a lot of these diets, because of the restrictive element of them, because they're so restrictive, because of that, it can actually cause mineral deficiencies, vitamin deficiencies. So you want to look at, is it going to cause any kind of micronutrient deficiencies? Okay, because if it is, if there are certain micronutrients, like certain vitamins and minerals or omega-3s, if they go really low in your body, then it can cause havoc with your health, right? I've met people, like I've had people in our program who, when I was actually talking to them in the consultation time, they basically shared that they've done these diets, and one person in particular said that I did this diet and I lost 10 kgs, yay! And then what happened? And then she developed some really severe anxiety and depression, and she had to be on antidepressants, and she had been on antidepressants for about a year until until we had this talk and we actually started working with her on a more holistic approach, right? So really important. Micronutrient deficiencies should not be taken lightly. These can really cause havoc with your health. It could cause stuff with your mind, could unbalance your hormones. I mean, hormones are so important for men and women, but for women especially, because of the way that our bodies are made, we are more susceptible to our hormones going a little bit off if things are not going right, because our whole hormonal system is so sensitive. It's so it reacts to everything, because that's just the way that it is, right? So important. It also reacts to our emotions. But right now we're talking about diets. Very important. And if your hormones are off, then hey, it can cause eating patterns, like really crazy cravings, and all kinds of different things. So you want to take that into consideration, because sometimes a lot of these diets can also make your hormones go off, and you don't want that. Take that into consideration. You also want to look at your tolerance levels. Like, for example, personally for me, you really have to be in tune with your body. You need to know, are you someone that can handle some kind of intense diet or intense regime of any kind? Like for me, I even with cleanses, like a juice cleanse, for example, for me, my body doesn't like any kind of really extreme cleanses, right? So I never actually do them. I might do a much sort of gentle cleanse, but my body doesn't really like an extreme, really strong cleanse. So you have to know what is your tolerance level, because if your tolerance level is low, again, these things can really have a huge impact. Next thing is medical effects. So you want to think about, does this particular diet, whichever it might be that you're wanting to try, does it have any negative health outcomes? So negative health outcomes could it cause insulin sensitivity? Could it cause hormonal fluctuations? So many different things, right? Take that into consideration, because these things can lead to long-term impact. Right now, if a particular diet is basically making you so nutrient deficient that you end up having loss of collagen, you're gonna have wrinkles at the end of that. That's not worth it, right? So really be careful. And then so there's so many different factors. Personally, my suggestion, just don't do some crazy diets. Just don't. I know we all think that, come on, it's like for a week or 2 weeks, or I'll do this for a month. It's not a big deal. It's not worth it. It's not worth it, especially if it ends up causing some health problems. long term, which, you know, because I mean, it's obvious, right? We all can think that, yeah, it's just a small thing. I'm just like doing this for a month. What's the big deal, right? A month could cause any kind of health issues. I mean, there are certain diets that have been shown to cause thyroid problems and other hormonal fluctuations that you really will have to treat, and you really will have to take good care of. Like this woman that I was just telling you about had developed severe anxiety and depression and had to be on antibiotics. It's just not worth it. My big suggestion is, anytime you're looking at losing weight, you wanna go into the healthy lifestyle arena. Okay, this is something like, you just think, can kids do this? You know, can kids eat this kind of food? Yeah, great, do that, because your body, you really want to take good care of your body. And it's not safe for kids to do crazy diets. It's also not safe for you to do crazy diets, you know, crash diets. It's not. And trying them out, just experimenting with your body, is not a good idea unless you've done really good research and checked everything about it, and you're actually working with a professional that knows what they're doing. Okay, so don't try some crazy things. All right, so that was it for the crash diets. We have two more really awesome myths that we are going to uncover in the next 2 days. So stay with us and come at the same time tomorrow and on Saturday. And the great thing is, on Saturday, right after our myths that we're going to cover, we will be going right into a webinar that I will be leading. And the webinar is about 5 steps to sustainable weight loss. So I'll be teaching you 5 steps that you can take to have sustainable weight loss and create really good results in your body. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed this session, and we will see you next time. Bye for now.